Hey guys, before we get started on this episode, we wanted to let you know that we are going to be starting March 1st. We will be having a Patreon, which will be linked in our description for our March reviews. And we wanted to let you know that we are going to get that started. And so you can kind of prepare, and maybe that's something that you would be interested in. And there will be different levels to accommodate everyone that is interested. And we hope that you guys check it out. Now on with the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version to our YouTube channel, so you can check that out to see our lovely faces. My name is Vetta, and as always, I am being joined by my brother, Matt.
Hi, guys.
And this month's theme is movies with Valentines in the title. So on this episode, we will be talking about the 2009 My Bloody Valentine.
That rhymed. You're a poet. Look at you.
I know. I didn't even know it. All right. Before we get started talking about My Bloody Valentine, what are you drinking?
Well, I am drinking. Well, I'm almost done with this one. I'll have to make another one, but I am drinking what is called a Bloody Valentine. And it's kind of like, well, it's my take on a Bloody Valentine because I can't remember what they asked for. They asked for some kind of like rose water or some crap like that. I'm like, I'm not drinking that. So it's like a Valentine, but the main thing in all the Bloody Valentines was the blood oranges. So I just squeezed some blood orange juice and put it in a Valentine. So I was like, and it's delicious, I'll tell you. But instead, I just want to say also, instead of using vodka and cranberry juice, I decided to again use a cranberry Monaco because I was like, well, it's got vodka in it already. So, and it's cranberry. So I was like, whatever. So that is what I am
And
drinking.
they're delicious.
Yes, for sure. What are you drinking?
So I am drinking a Valentine margarita. So it is a jalapeno strawberry pineapple margarita.
Nice.
So
I like it.
It is delicious. It's spicy and sweet and
spicy.
Love it. The only thing I'm missing
is
I didn't do the salted rim. I forgot.
Right on.
Already be a little drinky.
It happens. It happens. Sometimes we all forget to rim that rim.
Right.
So
sometimes it's important to remember that, but
yeah, it is.
So had you seen this movie before?
No. Nope.
No. Did you watch the trailer?
No, I didn't. I was going to, but then I was just like, I was just like, I gotta watch this movie. So I just sat down and watched it.
All right.
Did you watch the trailer?
I had already seen it.
Oh, gotcha.
But I did watch the trailer.
Did you see it in the theaters when it came out?
No. I watched it probably a year ago.
Okay.
Because it was one of those things I was watching the original My Valentine horror film or whatever it was called. And this was on the other movies, the similar, it was in the thing. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I just want to say, I did forget that this movie was in 3D when I watched it, because some of the things didn't look right when I was watching. I was like, that's weird. And I was like, oh,
when the axe goes through the windshield. And you're like,
and I'll be honest with you, some of the moments I was like, I couldn't tell. I was like, is that in 3D or is it just weird? Am I the weird one? Like when he turns around in the cage later on and he's face to face with the killer, I was like, is that supposed to be in 3D? Because they're kind of making a big deal about it. So
yeah. So all right, well, let's hop on in then. All right,
do it.
The movie starts out and it's doing the news clippings of the event we're about to see, the massacre. So long story short, they work in a mine and
Harry.
Yeah. Well, Tom is supposed to bleed the line. I don't know what that means. And Harry gives him a hard time and Tom's all, I know how to do my job. Clearly he doesn't.
Right.
Because he didn't bleed the line and the mine explodes.
Right.
And there are 6 guys down there counting Harry. And instead of the explosion killing everybody, Harry kills everybody because there's only so much air in the collapsed mine.
Right.
And Harry wants all the air for himself. So he kills everybody else. And then it shows him in a coma in the hospital. And when he wakes up, he goes on a murderous spree and kills
I wrote down
20
Harry,
women and children.
Yeah, I wrote Harry wasted no time killing people. I also wrote down in my margins, this movie kills so many people, especially right off the bat.
People,
like
right off the bat, like because right after Harry does all of the killing, you get 10 years later, and it goes into a news report on it's been 10 years since the Bloody Valentine's Day murder, and where Harry, I don't remember his last name.
Well, wait, can we back it up to talk about that party?
Oh, the party is after the 10 years thing.
Are you sure?
No, because you're right. That's after he wakes up. He goes back.
He goes on the murder spree.
He wakes up from the coma and he goes back to the mine and finds a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah, that Jensen Ackles guy.
Are they teenagers or are they like college age students?
Well, whatever they're supposed to be. They
all die.
I wouldn't have partied in that old mine. I'd have been like, we're partying here. I'm a bail.
First of all, would you have partied in a mine that 5 people just got murdered by another guy in said mines? Wouldn't be, but that does sound like something that dumbass kids would do. Let's go check it out and see if we can see some blood.
Yeah, and I just want to say, the one girl, you could totally see her black bra through her shirt, and I was like, I found the whore.
No, she's not the whore, because you never see her boobies. You do get to see.
I would have liked to have, though.
There is a very lack of boobies. Let's be honest. You only get to see one pair, but you get to see full frontal nudity from her.
Yeah, I think I wrote it down later on. Okay, so they're in the mine, right? And they're all being like super quiet when the Harry guy shows up. Can we talk
about why does everyone just the minute they walk into the mine, everyone disappears? And Sarah's
because they're all being murdered. They're all being murdered. Like, that's why they disappear. Like, I'm just like, listen, I've never been in a mine before, but are there that many tunnels that you can't notice people just disappearing left and right?
And she somehow makes a full loop, and
and I love how
guy grabs her to save her, to keep her quiet. Right.
Yeah. And so like, I love how they're like hiding. Right. And then and Jason, he totally lets his friend die. Like, he's like, hey guys, where you at? And I'm like, tell your friend to shut up and everything. And then the Harry guy totally kills him. And I love how this blonde girl just pops up out of nowhere and she's like, and everything. And then he kills her with the shovel. And I'm all like,
I do have to say, the kills in this opening little mine killing sequence, they're pretty good. I mean, he stabs out the one guy's eye, and he doesn't just stab it out. He comes from behind, and the eye's like ejected
and flies at you.
Right. Which in 3D, for people, I can't see 3D. But for people that can, that probably is really cool. And then the next guy, I mean, he deserved to die. He knocked himself down to let the murderer catch up with him. So he deserved to die. He's like, he was the dumbass in that scene. Yeah. And then the girl gets stabbed with the shovel, like in the mouth, and he severs her head, and it like slides down the shovel.
Off. Yeah.
I mean, there were some pretty good kills there, even in the hospital when he rips out the nurse's heart and puts it in the Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but you didn't see that. You didn't get to see
No,
that.
You didn't.
Yeah, I need to see it. As far as I'm concerned, if I don't see it, it didn't happen. So
I do feel the same way. I mean, there was a lot of blood and dead people in that hospital. Yeah. So Tom is with the kids. So the only kids that survived the tunnel is Irene, Sarah, Axel, and Tom. Right?
Right on. Who's Jason?
Jason was the kid that like knocked himself out.
Oh, okay. I wrote him down. I was like, so I thought the other guy was named Jason. Okay, yeah. So they survived. No. Can we go back to the report that you had mentioned earlier?
Oh yeah, that happens right after people are chasing Harry through the tunnel and shooting him and stuff, and he's doing what all serial killers do. He's honing his superpower of I've been shot 7 times and can still run away.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
So there's the news report.
Yeah, I
10 years later.
Yeah, I want to comment on this news report because it was pretty fucking ridiculous. Okay, so the lady on the screen, so she says that Harmony, this town Harmony, is the murder capital of America. And I was like, bitch, have you never been to Detroit? I live there. You know, you're from Michigan.
Chicago, New
Yeah,
York,
Chicago,
LA.
New York. Yeah, I'm all like, but Harmony in I don't know what state this is in, is the murder capital of America.
I might have believed it if she would have been like, this is the holds the record for one person killing the most people in a single day.
Right. Yeah. Something like that. Anything.
Yeah.
She said murder capital of America.
So the day before he wakes up from the coma, or however many days, he's already killed 5 people. So he's already technically a serial killer. And then he wakes up from the coma and takes out another 20 men, women, and children. I'm like, I don't really think that classifies 25 people dying in, let's just say, 2 days, not murder capital of the world on any given weekend.
America. She says
America. Yeah. Because any given weekend, something like 60 people get murdered in Chicago or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an exact statistic.
It's so fine. I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah. So, of course, Tom had disappeared. Like, apparently, I mean, and
justifiably so.
Right. I mean, would you want to stay in a town where, because you forgot to bleed the line, some guy was trapped in a cave with 5 other people and killed him because he wanted all the air for himself?
Yeah, and then you saw him murder all your friends and stuff.
Yeah, who are already hating you because you're the creepy guy that got everybody killed.
Right.
So yeah, I go, well, that's just great. He's back in town and he goes to the motel.
Right. Well, why is he back in? Does he goes to yeah, he's back in Harmony. I love the name the Harmony. Because he's selling off the mine. Because
his dad owned the mine and his dad has recently died. And he
I loved the fight.
Majority shareholder.
Yes, I loved the fight with him and that one guy, and he's all like
Ben.
Yeah, Ben. He's like, you don't even live here anymore. You're not a part of this town. And I'm all like, oh, get the fuck out of here. Make your money, dude. I say sell it.
Yeah, he's like, all the people that depend on that mine. And Tom's like, not my problem. I'm like, yeah, Tom, not your problem.
Not your problem, dude.
Take the money and run. They can move to a different mining town.
Right. Do you think that he could have served been well off if they would have kept that mine open and he just would have collected, the profits or whatever off of it?
Well, I think he's been living off of it for a while. Oh,
well, then I say maybe he should have kept it going.
I don't know when his dad died. That's the thing. Did his dad die recently? I don't know. And I don't know how much money mines make. So
right on.
I'm not 100% sure because I don't know anything about that. So, the great part that so Tom's back. Before we go to the motel, can we talk about Axel?
Yes.
Axel has become the sheriff.
Yes.
Axel married Sarah. And is having an affair with one of Sarah, because Sarah's parents owned the grocery store in town and she's taken it over and he is sleeping with one of her employees.
Yes, he is a douche.
Right? And he thinks his wife doesn't know, but she knows. And so then Tom goes to check into a hotel, and were you not a little creeped out when he picked up the dog and said, I'll trade you the dog for a room? And I was like, what if she would have said, we're all booked? Are you keeping the dog? It was a cute little pug.
Well, I was happy there was a little in here. I was like, oh, look at that. It's a little. Hey, you.
She was adorable. I was like, I feel like her and I would be friends.
Right on. Yeah, so he goes
mostly because she's my size.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's before this or after this, but back to Axel cheating on his wife. Okay, they have sex in that gross cabin. I'd have been like, no, I'm classy. This is not gonna work for me.
Well, she says, can we go to a hotel next time? And he's like, no, because you don't think people think it's weird the sheriff's car parked in front of a motel.
Then wear regular clothes or go around back.
Or just drive your normal, not
Yeah,
at work car.
I was just like, I'm sorry. If I was her, I'd have been like, I'm not doing it in this gross cabin anymore.
Right. And if you're his wife and you never go to the cabin, but you know he spends a lot of time there. If he's there, shouldn't he be fixing it up or something? Because that place is really disgusting.
Right.
Like there's disease all over. The fact that later it shows like rats eating out of the chocolate candy box.
Right. Gross.
It's disgusting.
Right on.
So he checks into the hotel, and as he's walking past a window, some patrons have left the blinds open and are going at it, like
yeah, they
full
are.
on. And it's Irene from the beginning, and he kind of stops and takes a little second glance, which honestly, who wouldn't?
Right.
And then he goes to his room, and then it goes back to Irene, and I can't remember the guy's name.
Frank. I wrote it down.
And Frank's videotaping it, which pisses Irene off.
Yeah, because she's not a whore.
Oh, she is now because he paid her for it.
Yeah,
he threw money at her.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing in this whole movie is Irene goes to get the gun out of her purse, and you watch her grab a shirt. So she has every intention in the world of covering up, but at some point she drops it. I'm not sure what happens, but Irene is walking through the motel parking lot naked in nothing but her high heel shoes with a gun.
I wrote this down. I wrote this down also. I was like, Irene walked all the way to that truck naked.
And she doesn't have big boobs. She's probably got average.
They're pretty
boobs,
good though. They're nice.
But oh no, she's young. They were still firm and perky. But man, you could tell she was walking with a purpose, because those babies were definitely jolting. Like,
yeah, they were good.
They were like, we got shit to do. Let's get that back. Yeah. So she's yelling at Frank, and Frank's going, get some clothes on before a kid sees you. I'm like, dude, it's like what? Late at night. If a kid's gonna see her at a motel, they've seen way worse in their life.
It's fine if he sees it.
And Frank's cheating on his wife with Irene and videotaping it, so he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
So he goes, I know that gun isn't loaded. And she chucks the gun at him.
Yeah, which I thought was a good move. I thought that was a good move.
I loved that.
Yeah.
That was great. So he goes to get into his semi truck because he's a truck driver. And of course, quote unquote, Harry is in there and straight through the head.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
And of course, Irene screams and books it. Again, you got to remember, she's butt naked and nothing but shoes.
Right.
She ran like a champ.
Yeah,
with
she
those
did.
shoes and everything.
Yeah. She was like, oh, fuck me. I need to get it out of here. Fuck that camera. I'm getting out of here.
And can I just say, she makes the biggest mistake. So she runs inside and she has her hand on the phone. It is a cordless phone. She looks back and sees that the miner is following her, and she leaves the phone. I'm like, girl, it's a cordless phone.
Right.
You could have taken it. And then she does the dumbest thing in the world in a horror film.
Oh,
she
I wrote this down.
Under the bed. The only thing that might have been stupider would be to hide in the closet. And of course, Harry finds her. But when he's getting ready to find her, I can't remember the lady's name.
I don't remember. I just wrote down the little.
Yeah, the little lady,
the manager of the hotel,
looking for her dog again, because whatever the dog's name is, he keeps running away from her.
Yeah, Bongo. Bongo.
Yeah.
It's not Bongo. So, I'm just naming a Bongo.
No. So of course she comes in. She gets an axe through the bottom of the head, so like through the chin,
and lifted up.
Lifted up and stuck in the ceiling. Like he just leaves her, axe and all, hanging from the ceiling, while he tries to drag Irene out from under the bed.
Right.
And again, when this has to be the dumbest kill of the whole movie, when he's killing Irene. So everything. He's take the mattress and everything off the bed. When he goes to grab the axe, Irene stands up.
It's like a chain link fence under your bed.
It's like an old, like an old wire frame. And
I was like, oh, comfy.
Right. She stands up and she puts it in between her and the killer. And it's got all these holes in it and it's wire, and he's trying to axe her, and every time she dodges it with her head, and the first time she dodged it, I'm like, he can just hit you in your stomach. And of course, what does he do? He gets smart
in the stomach.
But it took him a little while though. She dodged at the head like 3 or 4 times before he realized, oh, she can't move her whole body out of the way. And then he kills her by axing her. Oh, and I should say it's a pickaxe, not chopping wood axe. It's a pickaxe.
Don't get all crazy, guys. Come on, it's not that big a deal.
And he pickaxes her in the stomach, and you don't realize it until later when you see crime scene photos, because Axel has them everywhere.
Right.
She's been dragged back to her hotel room. Her chest has been cut open, her heart ripped out, and she's been left bleeding and dead in a heart-shaped bathtub.
Nice. Very poetic.
It's one of those hotels.
Right on. Yeah. I love how Irene is just like, she's like all like tough and everything, and then all of a sudden she's just like making dumb decisions, like hiding under a bed, like original, honey, hiding under a bed.
Right.
Like you said,
at least
you might as well just hide in the closet.
Window.
Right. Yeah. Plus, I don't know about you, but if I saw somebody get axed in the forehead, I would not be running inside a building. I'd be running far down the road and being like, I'm not staying here. They're going to kill everybody. I'm going to go find someplace that he is not.
Yes.
But
I would rather run down the highway naked looking for a vehicle driving in the opposite direction rather than stay here with a murderer. But she would have died no matter what, because it is, in true horror film fashion, no matter how fast or far you run, they will find you.
Yeah. And she had sex, so she has to die.
Exactly.
Okay. So the next scene that I have on my notes is the bar scene right after that.
Oh, yeah.
With Tom. Okay, so he goes to the bar.
Tom goes to get a drink.
Yeah. Oh my God. That one dude, I didn't write down his name. I don't even know what they said. He throws a huge bar fit. I was like, what's going on here? And
the old guy.
Yeah. And I'm just like, everybody in this town now hates Tom. I'm all like, look at this.
He didn't actually kill anyone, but they're saying that because he didn't do his job, he led to his not doing his job caused everyone's death. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Harry snapped. Whatever happened,
right?
Harry probably shouldn't have been working in a mine. There was something psychologically wrong with him.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah, but he gets into a bar fight because everybody hates him in the town.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, I'm just reading my notes.
No, you're fine. So what was I going to say? Sorry. So then after that, that's when Tom runs into or goes to the grocery store and sees Sarah and everything. And is that where? No. Yeah. So she goes, and then it goes to her being at home, doesn't it, with her son? And
I think so. The next thing that I wrote was the part where Tom is in the cage in the mine.
Well, they go before that happens though, because he was going to the mine to tell Ben he wasn't gonna sell. Does that happen the next day? Because that is the thing where he sees the guy from the bar, the guy that punches the mirror. So maybe it is.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna pull it up just so.
Yeah. No, you're right. It is. And he gets locked in the cage. Yeah, because
hold on. Let's backtrack just one real quick, just so that way.
Yeah, so I have, once Irene is killed, Tom visits Sarah at the grocery store, And then it goes to the police station where Irene's heart is put in a Valentine's Day box, just like Harry did at the hospital, and it's delivered to Axel.
Yeah.
And then Tom gets in a bar fight.
Yeah.
And then the next day he visits the mine.
Yeah, well, Tom does like go to the store to talk to Sarah because he like apologizes for not being there. All right, let's start over with this. Not the whole thing. Just the part where you talk about her going to the well, you can mention the fact that Axel gets the chocolate box or whatever, but hold on, give me 2 seconds so I can remember to cut all this stuff out in the when I do this. It's better if I have specific movements and stuff so I remember where it's at, so I don't have to
cut it out.
Take forever. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so after the whole murder with Irene and everything.
Murder?
Yeah, I know. I mean, she deserved it. She was stupid.
It happened.
So, yeah. So Tom visits Sarah at the grocery store and they kind of have a whole conversation. And that's when he also finds out that she married Axel.
Right.
And then it cuts to the police station where another deputy or whatever brings Axel a Valentine's that was delivered, and it just says on it Sheriff Palmer, and it has Irene's heart in it.
Yeah.
And then,
which is not a good gift. Harry is a bad gift giver.
He is. He thinks that hearts. Okay, can I just say, Harry, hearts in the body are not shaped like Valentine's Day hearts. Right. Not the same, sir.
Yeah, nobody wants what you're given.
No, they want the chocolates. They don't want the
chocolate.
The bloody
is delicious.
Type, right? So then Tom gets in the bar fight with guys from the mine, and then because everybody blames him. Everybody blames him because he didn't do one thing, and because he didn't do that one thing, Harry kills a shit ton of people.
Right.
25, I think, total. Not counting the body counts 10 years later when they think Harry's
and then
back.
And then he goes to the mine looking for that dude that he got into a bar fight with.
No, he's looking for Ben, the lawyer, because he's going to tell him because he reconnected with Sarah.
Oh, I thought he was going to look for that guy.
No, because he says it. He's looking for Ben because find out later.
Ben.
Yeah. So, and I don't remember the bar fight guy, but anyways,
is Ben the sheriff? Who's the old? Never mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go.
Okay, so he's looking for Ben, and Ben's down in one of the tunnels. So the shift person or whoever says so-and-so is headed that way. And just by coincidence, he's going down to bleed the lines. He'll take you. And guess what? Guess who it is?
It's the guy that he got into a bar fight with.
Yes. And they're riding in the same car. And he goes, "How's the hand?" And I was like, oh, you're so lucky this guy's at work, because I'm pretty sure he would have shoved his hand
I was thinking
up
the
your
exact
ass.
same. I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, when you're at work and somebody, well, you don't know, but when somebody says something insulting, you're like, I just need to weigh my options. Like, we're about to fight and I gotta eat. So,
they're back at the cage, and it's the one at the beginning of the movie where he's talking to Harry, and Harry's like, "Don't forget to bleed the line, blah, blah, blah." So Harry, or the killer, locks Tom in the cage and then goes and kills the guy from the bar fight.
Yeah, I thought it was the killer. Doesn't the killer, because then he like bends the little lock part. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. If it's Harry, the murderer, whatever. And then the guy is calling, looking for Ben. He's like on the phone going, "Where's Ben?" Blah, blah, blah. And he gets killed. And it's so much overkill.
Yeah. Which I'm all like, why didn't, when he gets locked in that cage, I wrote down, why didn't he call out for Red? Mm-hmm. That guy Red? Mm. When he gets trapped in that little mine cage or whatever. And that was also the part where they do the little spin around and they're both looking face to face, like they're all like this. And you look towards me, look towards me. No, the other way. The other way. They're all like Never mind. Your hair's covered. I can't. Okay, sorry. So they're all like this, and I'm like, is that 3D? You can stop it now. Is that 3D?
Yeah. Well, my favorite is all that happens is Harry/killer turns on his headlamp.
Oh, yeah. He's got to see who he's stabbing.
No, but was it that Tom's headlamp reminded? Oh shit, let me turn mine on. Click. And then, like I said, he just kills, like overkills bar fight guy. Like so much.
Right.
And then, of course, all these other minor people come a-running and they're yelling at Tom. And Tom's like, I'm stuck in here. And they realize, oh, shit, he can't get out. He couldn't have done it.
Right on.
And he's been cut in the arm by an axe. So they take him to the hospital to fix his arm. And guess who's at the hospital passing out Valentines?
Who?
Sarah,
yeah.
Yeah. And of course she sees Tom and she's all like, oh, what happened? And of course, that's when he tells everybody that it's Harry. Harry is back and he's killing everybody. And Ben's like, that can't be a thing. And Axel's like, he's right. That can't be a thing because my dad, the sheriff at the time, and Ben killed and buried Harry in the woods.
Yeah.
So guess what? We're going on a scavenger hunt to find a murderer's body in the woods. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
And guess what happens when they get to the spot where Harry was buried? He's gone.
He's gone.
There's no body.
You're so funny. You're like asking me these things. Why don't you just tell us what's happening?
I don't know. It seems fun. But there's no signs. There's no bones. There's no clothing. There's nothing at all, which perplexes everybody. Ooh, that was a fun word.
Yeah.
Everybody. There's like, so then they take Tom to the station and they're going to question Tom. Can I just say, when Axel starts beating the shit out of Tom would have a serious lawsuit, be able to sue because cops can't just decide to be questioning someone and then because someone used to date their wife, beat the shit out of them. That's not how that works.
Right. Exactly.
So then the next kill is Ben. Ben's in his home because when Tom leaves the police station, Ben says, well, this time Harry's going to make sure he gets you. So maybe you should just leave town. And he goes, no, I'm staying. And maybe I'm not the only one he's after, implying that he's going to come for Ben as well.
Yeah.
And Ben is the next kill that night. Yes. And how Ben got killed, I'm still trying to figure out because he was sitting there drinking whiskey with a shotgun. There is nothing that says better in this world than a drunk person with a gun. Right.
Well, I love how when Harry shows up to kill him, like they get into a fight and I thought Ben was doing a pretty good job, for the most part. But then right before he died, his last word was he says shit. He's like shit. Right before he dies, and I was
realizes this is gonna happen. He's not.
And I was like, oh man, I was like, that's your last dying words. That sucks, buddy. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And so, Harry's dead, or not Harry. So Harry killed Ben, and then it goes to the grocery store. Back to the grocery store. Yes. Like this movie jumps all over
so much, which I just want to be like, the whole time, I don't know about how you were, but I wrote it down. I was like, Harry is a fast driver or like a fast walker, or I wrote down, hold on. Ben lives really close to the store because he went from Ben's house to the store like that. And I'm all like, that's
and he takes Ben's body. You find out later when it goes to Axel, being notified that Harry's missing, like he took the body too. He didn't just, leave it. So yeah, he's a fast mover. So now we're in the grocery store with Sarah and Megan, and they're closing up. The store's closed and they're stocking shelves and they're hearing noises. And of course, it's the killer. And so after they're running around and everything like you would from a murderer, and they head to the office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean,
which I thought was like, legit. I was like, oh yeah, they're legit going to the office. And then they put the thing in the filing cabinet in front of the door. I was like, okay, that's legit. You guys could make it.
Yeah. Well, this is first of all my thing. Why is that door made of wood?
Right.
Shouldn't it be like metal if that's the room that you're keeping like the monies and the stuff in? I don't
Right
know.
on.
So they run to the room. I did like how Megan tried to slow him down or keep him from killing Sarah by beating him with a mop.
Right.
And I personally went, Sarah, Megan, you want Axel for yourself, and he knocked you up because, yes, if we forgot to mention that earlier, Megan is pregnant with Axel's baby. Yeah. This was a great way to get Sarah out of the picture.
Right.
Just go into the office, lock yourself in, and let him kill her.
Yeah. Right.
So they get into the office, and of course, he's using the axe to just break down the wooden door.
Well, and again, I wrote down. I was like, after she had died, I was like, well, I guess we don't have to worry about the baby.
Right. Yeah, because there's a window, but because this is the office with the money and stuff, there's a cage, so you can't get out the window.
Right. Which I did because I think they sound the alarm or whatever about like
not until after Megan's killed.
Yeah, which I wrote down, why not sound the alarm before Megan died? Because I'm all like,
right, the minute you got in there.
Yeah, and plus, I was all like, that's so crazy.
Can we also discuss how inefficient the locked cage on the window is? Because if that is there to keep people out of the store from breaking in, why the fuck is the lock on the outside of the building? Shouldn't it be on the inside of the window? So
go ahead.
No, go for it.
No, I was just go ahead.
So, of course, after a long trying of different keys and all of that stuff, they get the window open and the cage around it open, and Megan climbs out. And of course, the minute Megan starts going out the window, she's 90% out the window.
Right.
The killer is no longer breaking down the door. So they're quickly, Sarah's like, something's not right. Get back in here. But guess what? It's too late.
Yeah. Yeah, Megan gets pulled fully out. I was like, oh, Megan. I was like, Sarah, she saved you and you couldn't even try to save her, fucker.
Yeah. So, of course, this is where Sarah's like, I'm going to go out the front door. So she runs out the front door. And of course, her husband, Axel, is there to meet her at the front door. They walk around to see what happened to Megan. Megan is dead. Her heart is gone, and above her, it is written what she wrote in the card for Axel: "Be mine forever."
Right.
And Axel's is trying to convince Sarah that the killer is Tom, but she's not buying it.
Right.
And she's sent to the hospital because she did get cut during all of that by the axe and the whatnot. Right. So while she's at the hospital, Tom shows up and she goes with Tom, and Tom convinces her in the car that it's Axel.
Right.
And because he's taking her to the cabin to show all of the proof he has.
Yeah, which I just want to say, why would Sarah cause an accident? Like, honey, you're in the car too. If he crashes, you might possibly die, just so you know.
But people do that all the time in movies. And I'm like, if you hit a tree, you could die too.
Right.
So while they're in the car driving, oh shit. Before that, I totally forgot to talk about the housekeeper nanny.
I was just about to bring that up because if you went a little bit further, but I did want to talk about that. Okay, first off,
let's backtrack. So we're at the back alley again, and they're at the hospital. But while they're at the hospital, the killer is at Axel and Sarah's house.
Yes,
and he kills their nanny.
And kills, which I just want to know, how could they afford a nanny? Like, nannies are expensive. It's not like a babysitter. It's like a full-time job. Although
maybe she makes good money if that's the only grocery store in the town, and there's no Walmart nearby.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I
did like how he killed her, though. I liked it.
Oh, yeah, I will give them this. They definitely did not go traditional kills. So he axes her and then puts her in the dryer. And when another cop shows up at the house, her face is like melted off and everything because it got so hot. And I'm like, is that true? Do dryers get that hot that if you were in it?
I don't know. I've heard of people like little kids getting in dryers and dying, but that one was already dead and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if it gets that hot, but I just go like, maybe, whatever. It's fine.
It was like some acid boiling thrown on your face type mutation. So, and then Burke.
I don't think she had a nose anymore. And I was like,
it was down to the skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it gets that hot.
I don't think it does. And then, so you have the cop that's there, and then the retired sheriff that's there, and they're looking through the house. The cop finds Noah and who is Axel and Sarah's son, tells him to stay hidden, and the retired sheriff gets murdered outside.
Yeah, which his murder was pretty cool because he does the axe pick up through the jaw. And then he
totally reminded me of Hot Fuzz. So at the end of Hot Fuzz, there's a scene where they're walking through a model village, side note, of the town. And this guy trips and the steeple of the church goes in through his chin and like out through his mouth. So it reminded me
of that. Go again.
Only they didn't grab the steeple and rip out his entire jaw like the killer did with the retired sheriffs, like ripped off. And then I think that scene would have been cool for the 3D aspects because you could tell that was 3D and like the jaw is supposed to come flying at you. Yeah. So then from there, it is Sarah and Tom in the truck. They're on their way to Axel's cabin so he can prove that Axel is the murderer.
Right.
But while they're in the truck, Axel calls Sarah on the phone and calls
Sarah.
Yeah. No. Yep. Axel calls Sarah.
No.
About Tom. No. Tom's in the truck with her.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And Axel reveals a fun little piece of information. For the past 7 years, Tom has been in a mental institution.
Yeah.
Which I go makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole town hates you because they think you're one little not doing one thing caused 25 people's deaths. So they don't like you. And Sarah's reaction to that is not to just go along and when the truck is stopped, run away. It is to grab the steering wheel.
Yeah,
and cause an accident.
Yeah, which again, I just go, why? You could have died, honey. You don't just cause an accident. Like you said, when it stops, then you get out and run away.
And you're a mother. Think of your child. I mean, would you really want Axel raising your kid by himself? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So she runs to the cabin. She can't find anything to defend herself, but she opens a cabinet and all these red heart boxes. Okay. How many people did she think Harry was killing? Or now she thinks it's Axel. How many people did she think he planned on ripping their hearts out and sending them Valentines? Because there was probably 50 Valentine's Day hearts in there. Yeah. So then she runs to the mines. I mean, this is the smallest town on the planet. It really is. She goes from the grocery store to the hospital to the middle of the woods to her husband's cabin. And now she's in the mines being chased by the murderer.
Yeah.
Like, this is such a small town. Like, I don't even know if this is the thing. Like, I don't know. It just seems like it's too crazy that you find out later this whole town's like a 2-mile square block or something. I don't know.
Right on. And he chases her into the mine right after they get to the cabin and everything.
Where she runs into both Tom and Axel.
Yeah, which I have a question because what were you gonna say? Finish what you were
gonna
say.
I was just gonna say where they're both trying to convince her that the other one's the killer.
Well, all those mining outfits are just like hanging up, and the whole time I'm like, why are these mining outfits dangling from the ceiling? I was like, are there miners in those outfits? Like, what's going on here?
Maybe that's the laundry room and it's after they're washed.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was just joking.
I don't know. I really don't, because I don't know much about the mining industry,
Right
nor
on,
do
right
I
on.
plan on diving into that
Yeah,
wormhole.
for sure.
So then um they're both trying to give her the pros and cons on why they're not the killer, but the other one is. When finally Axel just says, shoot us both.
Right.
It's the only thing you can do. You got to shoot us both. And
Right.
then Tom makes the fatal flaw of all killers. He lets on that he knows too much. He knows something that he shouldn't know. He makes the statement, and I don't even remember how, when, where, or why, but he says, it's definitely him, because just like Megan wrote in the card, "Be mine forever," that's what Rose wrote above Megan's body. And Sarah's all, "I didn't tell you. How did you know that?" "Oh, well, you told me." "No, I didn't." And she doesn't shoot Tom. She shoots, I think, some kind of tank with something in it. I don't know, again, because I
Well,
don't know any.
remember Tom is all like, he's here. Do you see him? And
Yes.
and
Then
they're
they
like,
realize, oh,
yeah,
he's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah. And so this is my whole thing, because there was a fight too at this point. There's a fight, and Axel's on the ground, and she shoots the tank, and some sort of chemical, air, oxygen, whatever, comes
right.
shooting out of it. Tom's all, oh, fuck. She just bends down to grab Axel. And I'm like, you dumb bitch. You're like 10 feet away from that too. What the hell? It's not, you got to get up and run. Forget about Axel. He's cheating on you anyways. But
Right.
so Tom is pretty much buried under wood from the explosion. And so are Sarah and Axel. And then it shows the like rescue party. And of course, one of the first responders finds Tom. Tom kills him, steals his
Yes.
outfit, and gets out. And Sarah and Axel are alive, and they're being put in an ambulance. And that is it.
Which I just have to say real quick. So Tom, he escapes that whole that whole ordeal. And he's not even like really far away from the whole mining problem. And he takes off his mask. And I'm like, yo, buddy, don't you think you should get a little bit further down the road when nobody can see you?
And how is it that nobody notices this random first responder just walking off into the no
Right.
man's land? There's no cars, there's no nothing. But I'm like you, how does nobody go, dude? But again, for all we know, everything's so close in this town. Maybe he was really 10 miles away from them at that.
Right. Ain't that the truth?
So yeah. So do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I don't have anything else that I want to say.
Okay. So what did you think overall?
I mean, it was fine. I mean, it wasn't my favorite horror movie, but I mean, it was fine. I mean, if anybody ever wanted to watch it again, I would, but I wouldn't be excited about it. What about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I'm like, it jumps around all over the place. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just at this character, that character, whatever. I mean, I will give it this. It did have some really creative kills. I'll give the killer that.
For
I
sure.
mean, Harry wasn't a very good killer, but I mean, he kind of was. It's not true. But Tom stepped the game up.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
did.
so
He's like, challenge accepted.
right. I didn't like the ending. But yeah, I feel the same way. It's if somebody else wanted to watch it, I would watch it with them, but it wouldn't be my first choice. I wouldn't bring it up as a let's watch this. So
Yeah.
all right, so now we're going to move on to the next portion of our show, the questions. Matt, what is your question for us today?
My question is just, what is your favorite like mining show or like movie with miners in it? Something with mining.
Okay, I picked October Sky,
Oh,
where
right
it
on.
takes place in a mining community, and it's
Mm-hmm.
got Jake Gyllenhaal in it, and he doesn't want to be a miner like his dad. He
Mm-hmm.
wants to work for NASA, and he's got a
Yeah.
great
Be a little
teacher
space man.
who, yep, encourages him. She ends up getting cancer and dies. Back
She encourages him and dies.
yeah, back then. But he goes to like the national science fair and wins for whatever he makes. And I just really like it. It's just really great. It's just an adorable movie. So if you haven't, I say watch it.
Yeah, I think I watched it. I know I watched it once, but I think I remember liking it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those movies they play on like TBS every now and then and stuff like that. So, all right. So what was your answer?
Oh, mine was North Country with Charlize Theron. He does that lawsuit against that mining company because they're dicks. But I like that movie. She did a good job and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
What was your question?
So my question is, what is your favorite movie with like a split personality or alter ego type situation?
Mine is Fight Club. Yeah,
nice.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, I love this movie. I remember the first time. Did you get the hint that Tyler Durden was like it was a split personality at the end no, yeah, me neither. Yeah, because at the end when I watched it, I was just like, wait, what's going on? It's the same person. It was
so much sense when you see it at the end because you're like, wait a minute, why are all these people following him and think he's a god? Because he's beating the fucking shit out of himself, like not even a little. Like he's like bloodying himself up. They're fighting each other, and he's like, no way, watch me, I'm gonna kick my own ass. So I'm like, and it has meatloaf in it, and he's a breast cancer survivor. Like that is just amazing.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I do enjoy that movie a lot. Yeah. And he's like,
we'll forever have the line where people are like, and the first rule about Fight Club is you don't talk
about Fight Club. Yeah. And he's like fucking Helena Bonham Carter, and she's all like looking like a homeless lady. I'm like, ew.
But you're like, you could do so much better, dude.
Right.
So I agree with that. All right. Do you have anything else you would like to add today?
I do not.
All right. So thank you guys so much for listening. And if you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whichever platform you're listening on, if they offer a review, please help us out and leave us a 5-star review. It really does help smaller podcasts like us. If you want to keep up on all of the things that is new and updated, follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pods. We will also be posting this video to our YouTube channel. So if you'd like to see our beautiful faces, please subscribe to us at BS Drunk Movie Reviews. And guys, we know you're watching on YouTube. We see the number of hours you're watching. Please hit the subscribe button. And if this is your first time visiting the channel, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you know when we're putting new stuff out there. And as always, guys, please remember to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, guys.
Bye.